Welcome into sportsbookreview.com. My name is Christopher Giannini. This is the closing line show for week number 3 in college football. I am so excited to spend my morning with you guys. Guys, this might be my favorite half hour of the week. Getting to talk football right before it kicks off with some of my favorite people in the world. Guys, let's get right into it. I went through all of the comments, all of the DMs, all the questions that I had. I had a bunch of questions about some of the same games that I missed and we didn't talk about on the first 2 shows of the week. So we'll get right into it. One of the questions I got was a game I put zero thought into until somebody asked me about it. And it is the UConn at Army football game. And you know what? I might have missed one. I might have missed a bet that I like. I probably would have bumped a game out. In hindsight, I would have probably bumped that UCF game out last night that I lost. And let's put this one in there. Miami, not Miami. I'm looking at my notes wrong. Army is laying 34.5 against UConn. Guys, I don't know that UConn scores. UConn hasn't scored all year. This is a hell of a spot for them to try to get points on the board against this tough, brutal Army defense. Army seems to be scoring at an insane rate. I think I'd lay the big number of 34.5. I like Army here. I think they're going to roll. I can't explain how bad UConn has looked so far. It is blowing my mind that a group of guys have played this poorly to start the season. I know they don't have a lot of talent, and I know the coaching there is just in shambles. They just don't look like they've got any pride in what they're doing at all, and that is a little concerning. Army, on the other hand, might be the complete opposite. They overplay their abilities without question. They are extremely well coached. They are prepared for everything, and they just grind you to death. And it's a big number, and I don't know that it scares me, guys. I like that game. The second game that people ask me the most about is a game I intentionally left off and was hoping nobody would ask me to talk about. That is my LSU Tigers bringing in Central Michigan. Almost said a different name. I'm very honest about my assessment with my Tigers. I'm worried. I'm very nervous. I love this team. It means a lot to me. This is the team of my youth, of my childhood, and I know that Coach O is not Nick Saban. I know that he is not Lincoln Riley. I know that he is not one of the greatest coaches of all time. But I love the man. He's my coach. Okay, he's mine. All right, and I love him. I think this is way too many points. It's 19.5. You will never get me to publicly pick against my team. I'm telling you that if you bet LSU and you lay these points this weekend, you are the mouse trying to wiggle the cheese out of the trap. There's a really good chance you just get your neck snapped, okay? It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly. This offensive line struggled to get a push against McNeese State. I'm worried that they won't get a push against anybody the rest of the year because McNeese State's about as bad as it's going to get coming in. Something that scares me, I'd say take the points and take the dog, but you won't hear that come from me. I'm going to move on. This is a game that I love. I'm so excited to watch it. Arkansas State going up to Washington. Washington just looks like the Walking Dead right now. This is a team that I don't know that they're prepared for football at all. And there's a chance that they can go home, realize they've had 2 of the worst weeks any team in college football could possibly imagine having, and say, you know what? We got to pay for win. We're cutting a big check to Arkansas State. We're cutting a big check to Butch Jones and the Red Wolves coming into town, and we're supposed to beat this team up. And they might come out of here with a win. That line is 17 right now. There is zero chance on earth that I would favor Washington over 17 points over any team in the country, not named maybe UConn. Okay, that might be the list. They're struggling. This Arkansas State team can score points. They put the football into the end zone at a pretty good clip. Now, Washington's defense is going to, I think, slow them down. They're not hanging 50 on Washington, guys, like they did my Memphis Tigers last week. But I think they're going to have no problems scoring the football and keeping this game tight. I'd put a little sprinkling on the money line. Later on, we'll give you some dogs to bet, but that's going to be one of them. Arkansas State plus 17. I think it's just too many points. Next game up, I hit a little bit because it's one of my gambling picks, and the more the week goes on, the more I'm worried about it. But you know what? The bet is in. There's no backing out. We got to roll forward. Virginia Tech going into West Virginia, going into Morgantown. The only thing that worries me is betting a team that is 0-2 right now, struggling to get, well, they're not 0-2. They're going to, I think, against the spread. West Virginia struggling to win games that they need to be winning. They're in Morgantown. I just think for West Virginia Tech, sorry, these names are going to get me messed up. I just think Virginia Tech is the better football team. I really do. You're catching a little bit of point here. It's +2 for Virginia Tech. I know everything in me says West Virginia's got to win this game. They just have to if they want to be taken seriously. Home field has to matter at some point in time. Morgantown used to be a place everyone was afraid to go into. In the last couple of years, I don't know that anybody's afraid to go into there. Can Neil Brown turn it around? Can they pull out a win one time? I'm gonna continue to ride with the Hokies. Okay, it's just my choice. I think they've got the best athlete on the field. I think they are going to be bigger, stronger, and faster. I think they should win this game. I think this is the wrong team favored, and I'm gonna stand by my bet. If Morgantown's rocking, be real careful. Next game I got asked about is the second game that I didn't put any thought into it. And it's not because I didn't miss the line or anything. It's just that these are two teams that I just don't even know how to comprehend right now. And it's Stanford going down south, coming down here to Memphis, to Nashville, and to Tennessee, and playing Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a bad football team. Guys, don't let Stanford hang in 40 on USC convince you that they're a good team. They're not. They might hang 40 again this week because Vanderbilt's just god-awful, okay? This line is 12.5. Vanderbilt plus 12.5, Stanford minus 12.5. I'm not touching this game at all, mainly because I just still don't think Stanford's any good, all right? And I know Vanderbilt's not any good. And if I think, what I saw last week is the only reason Stanford's laying 12 here, 12.5. That's it. They beat up USC, and I think this is a gross overreaction to that. All right. Now, if you play this game, I think it's Stanford or a walk away. Okay. Because I just can't advise anyone to put their hard-earned income on Vanderbilt today. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no chance I could do that. Dave Clawson is hosting Florida State. Didn't get into this much. This Florida State team is reeling. They are falling apart at the seams, and I think Florida State is – there's a world where we think a team is due, quote unquote, right? It's like watching roulette, and if it hits red 9 times in a row, like you just think it's got to hit black, but that ball, the house knows, doesn't have a memory, all right? Well, you know who does have memories? Florida State Seminoles have memories. They have memories of getting their butts whipped the last 2 weeks at home, one by an FCS school, just doesn't happen at Florida State, and then the other by Notre Dame, who we all thought was really good, and they walked away with like a moral victory in a defeat. I think this Wake Forest team is really good. I've talked about Boston College being much better than people think they are. I'm a little worried that they lost their quarterback for the rest of the year. I talked about Virginia Tech being much improved. I've talked about NC State being much better than we think they are. The ACC, the middle of the packed ACC, is getting better. It's rising up. I think Wake Forest is one of those teams, by the way. Football in the state of North Carolina right now, pretty damn exciting, all right? I think this Wake team has just have too much talent. There's no doubt in my mind. I am all I'm all in on this. It's a small number. It's 4.5. It's a little bit more than a field goal. I got to win by a touchdown. I think Dave Clawson's going to have these boys ready. And I think here's the thing. Mike Norvell and the Florida State Noles are just reeling right now. And when you have a team that is desperate, that's when you just you play your game. You don't let them take you out of what you do. And as soon as you see an opening, boom, you get the knockout. This is how fights are won. I think Dave Clawson's not the coach you want to go against when your team is really, really struggling. Last game of all the missed games is not a missed game. It's a game that we hit on, but some things are a-changing. Mississippi State coming into my town, Memphis, Tennessee, and they're playing the Memphis Tigers. Memphis Tigers dropped 55 last week on Arkansas State. Mississippi State University wants to score points. These two teams want to put a lot of air under the ball. They want to throw the ball deep, and they want to take it to the house over and over and over again. It's how they play football. Guys, I don't know if you know what's going on, but right now outside my door is a damn thunderstorm, okay? It is rocking. It is rolling. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of people in the Liberty Bowl. I'm curious how this game ends up happening. Will the rain subdue by 3 o'clock when it kicks off here local Memphis time? I don't know. If it's pouring down, here's a weird thing. Both these teams play a lot alike. So I can't say it gives one team a benefit over the other. I think it drastically changes the game. And my first initial thought was, man, do I play the under in this game? Because it's a big, big number. Let me look it up real quick, see what it is actively live. I know what it was the other night. Memphis. My problem with playing the under is does this actually hurt the defenses? Because these two teams already struggle. I got 64. These teams already struggle tackling. So now, okay, maybe it's easier to stop them from catching the football, but does it, if someone does catch it or get out in open space, which both of these coaches love to do, their running game is a short passing game, and they get these super athletic guys in open field, does it make it harder to tackle them? Are points going to go even higher? I really have no idea. It's something that I want you to look at and you kind of evaluate. Know that it's, even if it's not raining, it's going to be wet. It's a wet field. And just things in Memphis are going to be gloomy and nasty all day long. Okay. So those are the games that I missed on that we didn't hit or talk about. That's some new information. I want to give you a rundown of my picks for this week so you know what we're playing right now. Last night, lost Central Florida. See, here's the thing. I liked both favorites going into last night. But if you watch the show that we did on Wednesday, you'll understand I said be very careful because these home teams catching points cover at a ridiculous rate. The weekday games are really, really hard for road favorites to come in and just cover games. They just don't do it very often. I picked one because I thought one might cover, one might not, and I just took my chances with what I thought was the best team. Louisville was absolutely on fire. Louisville was rocking last night. They got excited to play football. Don't know if that's the start of what they're going to look like going forward, or was that a magic on a weeknight game and you had kind of television yourself? Not sure about that, but Louisville got the win outright. Illinois cover. Both home dogs got the cover. So if you played one of them, you won. If you picked one and said, I'm going to ride with this home dog, you won either way. I picked one of the road favorites and I lost. The rest of my bets, I've got Vatech +3 at West Virginia. I'm still rolling with that. We just talked about that. I am stepping in front of the freight train that is Alabama, +15 Florida. I just think this game is going to mirror a lot of that Ole Miss football game when Alabama rolled into Oxford last year. I think a lot of points are going to be scored. I think Florida is super athletic. This Alabama defense hasn't gone up against a good offense yet. Last year, when they went against real good offenses, they gave up points, okay? And I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just saying they're going to give up a lot of points. If they give up a lot of points, I like Florida to cover. I got Northwestern -3 at Duke. I think Duke is really bad. I don't know that Northwestern's good, but I think Duke is really bad. I think they're reeling. I don't know that Duke has any kind of home field advantage to give you a benefit there. And I am riding with Virginia +9.5 at North Carolina. Those were my picks I gave out Wednesday night, so you can kind of follow me there through those. Next thing up, and then we'll get into some of these questions. I'll go through the chat and read some of the things that you guys are saying. Hopefully they're nice things about me, and we'll move on. Guys, last week I gave out 5 underdog specials, okay? These are underdogs that are more than 3 points, okay, that I think can win straight up. I've done this last year. I've done this for the last couple of years because I like betting dogs. I think it's fun. Historically, I'm lucky to win one of these, okay? I'm just telling you, I'm not betting these little puny little dogs here. I bet big dogs. I'm not afraid of it. I enjoy it. I think it's a fun thing to do, okay? Last week I went 4-1. I ain't never done that before in my life, okay? That was insane. It was a hell of a night. It was a lot of fun. It helped me get the juices going after going 2-3 in my actual gambling bets. So this week I got 5 for you. I really wrote down 6. There's one I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna flip 2 of them. I'm deciding on who I want to give or not. But we're gonna roll through these real quick. I got Michigan State +200 at Miami. I think Michigan State's going to cover this number. I think Michigan State's going to play really, really well. I'm excited for this game. I'll go ahead and do it now. My prop play of the day is from this game. It's a noon kickoff for you guys on the East Coast. It is Miami's team total under 31.5. I think Michigan State Sparty is going to come in. I think they're going to play some defense. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, okay? Somebody asked in the questions before the thing started, so I went ahead and wrote that down. First half team total of this game is 28.5. I like the under in that as well. I like all unders in this game. I think Sparty's going to play defense. I think Miami's struggling to score the football, and I'm going to – one of my money line picks is Spartans +200 at Miami. Next one up, Washington State hosting USC. USC is limping on in to Wazoo, and I think Washington State has a chance to pull off this win. This is picking on somebody who is used to being the bully, and the bully finally got his lip bloodied, and he doesn't really know how to handle things, okay? Don't know that this interim coach situation is going to be one of those where the team rallies around and comes out fired up. Might happen. I don't know. I don't like it. Washington State is +260. I like them. Arkansas State, we talked about it earlier. This is one where I said I'm sprinkling a little bit on the money line. This is absolutely going on the money line, +580 at Washington. Now, this is a long shot, guys. It's +580 points. But you don't get that for free. You get that because it's hard. You get that because it's hard to do. Next one up. I bet them earlier. I don't like betting dogs if I don't think the dog can win the game straight up. I got Virginia +245 at North Carolina. I know nobody in the world thinks North Carolina is going to start off ACC play 0-2. But there's a world where that could happen. And I believe that Bronco Mendenhall is going to have these boys from Virginia fired up, ready to go. It's time to make a pick on my last 2. I'm gonna go with Auburn. I'm gonna go with Auburn at Penn State +165. Once again, you're betting dogs straight up. It's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a hard thing to do. I think Auburn has a chance to win this football game. If their offense is as good as we think they are, then this is going to be the best offense Penn State has played yet. It might be one of the 2 best offenses, depending on how Ohio State looks, that they're going to play the entire season. If Auburn can score, then I think Auburn has a shot to win this football game, because I do think Auburn's defense is for real. My original thought, I think this game is going to be very low scoring. I think these defenses are going to keep this game close to the vest. And at some point in time, Auburn is going to take a shot at the end zone. And if they can hit some of these big plays, I also think they got the best running back combo in the country, absolutely the best running back combo in this game. If they can get a lead Can they use that 1-2 punch to grind this game to a halt and just frustrate the hell out of Penn State and wear down that defense a little bit? I'm going to do that. I'll tell you the 6th game, who it was, because people are asking a bunch of questions about it. I'm seeing them fly in. It was San Diego State at Utah versus Utah at home, plus 260. I was thinking about this game as well. I can't imagine a world where Utah loses 2 games in a row. It's just inconceivable to me. But at the same time, I really, really like the San Diego State Aztec football team, man. I think they're tough. I think they can score. And I think Utah, listen, sometimes teams lose hard-fought football games that are big rivalry games, and it gels the team, all right? They all come together as one, a rally, and they kick the shit out of the next guy they play. Sometimes little finger pointing starts happening. Sometimes things get a little chippy. Sometimes things start blaming the other players on the team for it's your fault, your fault, and your fault. And things start to unravel. And I like the Aztecs to try to get a shot at winning this thing. So that was the one that I left off. I gave you 5. Aztecs doesn't count as one of them. If I win it, I don't get credit next week. If I lose it, doesn't go against me. That's how we're keeping up. Let me try to roll through these questions, guys. You know, I'm not a good reader. You know, I'm not smart. And holy crap, there's a whole bunch of them. I appreciate y'all jumping in with me. Thank you so much. UConn's team total is -6.5. Somebody asked. Wow, that's pretty low. That's shocking. I don't know that they're going to score. Let's keep on rolling. Purdue +7.5. Somebody says they like. I'm rolling against that, guys. I just am. I think this Notre Dame football team is going to figure it out, going to get it together. Anyone like Michigan at Northern Illinois over? I'm staying away from that game completely, and I just don't have enough in it. Someone says I like Boise State -3. See, I'll be going against you on that one. Let me tell you my logic. Let me tell you my reason on that. Okay. It's very, very simple. It's not an analytical based thing. Everything I have seen from watching football this year says Boise State's a better football team. Everything I've seen says something is wrong at OK State. All right. Everything. But I like Gundy. And I think Mike Gundy is a crazy SOB who at some point in time is going to lose his mind on his coaching staff and his team. He's going to take back over the play calling, and he is going to turn into the Gundy of – I've said this earlier this week. Mike Gundy and OK State used to be a team where whether they won or whether they lost, they were a team that played with balls, and they have just lost them. And I think this week they could get it back. They could go up to Boise. They could take a road trip out west onto the prairie, onto the Smurf turf, and they say, you know what? I don't know if we're going to win this game. I don't know if we're going to lose this game, but damn it, playing 13-17 football ain't what OK State has been. We're dropping 40, and we're going to see can you hang more than 40, and we're going to beat somebody up. I don't know if that happens, but that's what I really want to happen. So I'm playing OK State. That's that's the only analysis I've got, guys. So do with it what you will. Michael Billingsley asked Oklahoma points, Cincinnati points. I like Cincinnati. I'm not going to lie about that. I love the Cincinnati play this weekend. That's my team. Desmond Ritter's my guy. And I'm going to keep rolling that. Oklahoma scares me because if they can't play defense, I think Nebraska can score, and it's a lot of damn points. And if Nebraska scores 21, 25, it's going to be real hard to beat them by 22. So that's what we've got. Let's go on. Clemson -28. You know what? That's probably the answer. I think Clemson wants to get back to kicking the crap out of ACC football teams. I've heard a lot of smart people who like college football, who use a lot of analytics, say that this is a game that Georgia Tech can keep close. But the last couple of years, those same people keep telling me Georgia Tech is really good and they're going to eventually get things turned around. I don't know that I believe that. I'm very curious to see what ends up happening with that game. I am staying away if I had to take it. I don't like Clemson, but at some point in time, Clemson's got to get back to kicking the crap out of people, or they're not the Clemson that we should be afraid of anymore. I think this is a game we can get a little bit of information on from that. Let's keep rolling through some of these. Sorry that I am not the best reader in the world. Big shout outs from Australia. Hey, he's taking the part and plus the points. I like that. I appreciate it. folks from down under, y'all stay safe out there. Things getting crazy and in Aussie town. Any thoughts on Coastal versus Buffalo? Man, so these are two G5 teams I like a lot, okay? Now, Buffalo got the hell beat out of them by a team that I don't think is very good last week in Nebraska. I can't really explain that. I think the Chants are really good. I know that the people of Buffalo are proud people. I think now they don't have one of these 80,000, seat stadiums and stuff of that nature. I think their fans are going to show up for this game, and I think they're going to cheer on their team. 14 points is what I saw last on this game. I think that's the right number. That's the problem. I think this game is going to fall right at that number. I don't see an edge either way. You made me pick. I'm going to take the Chants. I love Jamey Chadwell. I've interviewed Jamey Chadwell. I appreciate him. That's a bias thing. I really like Buffalo as well. I like Coastal. I'm never going to pick against them very often. It's just a hard thing to do. Let's keep rolling through. Let's see if we've got anything else going. I'm sure there are. You've got a whole lot of, man. Sorry, that pick for UCF money line killed somebody, man. I'm sorry about that. That sucks. I've heard all you Bama folks tell me Bama's going to win by 3 TDs. Listen, nobody cares. All right, nobody cares. Okay, you guys eat so much chalk, you just it's not even funny. I don't know how you don't choke on it. Okay, that's just insane. It's just a boring way to live. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Iowa and Notre Dame as a teaser. What is that Iowa number? I haven't looked at that since Wednesday. That's Iowa State. Get to Iowa. Iowa at Kent State. Big number, 23. As a teaser, yeah, probably because you're under 3 scores. I like that. I like that number a lot. That's probably the play. That's, you know what, that would make you feel better about the Notre Dame number too, right? Like that's got to make you feel a whole lot better about the Notre Dame. I don't mind the Notre Dame number. I like it. I think they're going to get right. That might be the only way I would play Iowa though, just simply because I worry about their offense. And at some point in time, Kent State might take their big money check to get this L and say, you know what? We don't want to get beat up by this team. We're just going to run clock and we're going to keep it within the hashes and we're going to play within ourselves. And if they dumb down what they do, then they're probably not going to turn the ball over the way other people are. And if Iowa gets a shitload of turnovers, it don't matter. They're going to score. They score the football on defense better than anybody in the country right now, and it's pretty exciting to watch. Any thoughts on Temple? I thought it was too big of a number, which is I like betting against Temple. 14.5 is what I saw. Here's the problem. I'm staying off of Boston College until I get more information on the new quarterback. I forgot his name that's coming in. I don't know if you saw the pictures of the broken hand, or that's not even considered a broken hand. That's just about as ganked up as you can ever see something. It was pretty gruesome. It was pretty scary. It really, really hurt my feelings. I loved Boston College to kind of be special this year. And with I just need to see more of their quarterback play that's going to go in there today. Somebody said, can Georgia make the points? I think it's too many damn points. Okay. You aren't better than FCS schools or beat FCS schools by 31 points. 31.5 is what I looked at last time I saw this number, probably Thursday. I don't think that an SEC team you're going to beat by 31.5. Now, I've heard the narrative on that game that old South Carolina fired Will Muschamp. And Will Muschamp is now an on-field assistant at Georgia. And him and Kirby are buddies, and Kirby's going to run it up. And you know what I think? I think that is about as much bullshit logic as you could possibly imagine. And let me tell you why. If you're Will Muschamp and you were as bad of a head coach as you were at South Carolina, how can you think it's South Carolina's fault that you got fired? Like that narrative, that logic that team fired me, and so now I want to run the score up on them and really kick the crap out of them. If you didn't suck so bad, then you wouldn't have got your ass fired, okay? That's on you. That's not on them. Get out of here with that mess, man. And if Kirby's trying to run it up to make his old buddy Will feel special, I can't help you, okay? You're trying to win a national championship, all right? South Carolina is just trying to get bowl eligible. Kick the crap out of them, get the W, and get the hell out. If you're still playing starters and trying to run the score up and this game gets late, you're going to see a South Carolina team full of a couple of 20-year-old dudes that are tired of getting beat up by Georgia, and they're going to just start rolling up on ankles and knees, all right? Because that's what happens. You got 20-year-old guys that don't like bullies, and they're getting the hell beat out of them. You call the dogs off, we'll call the dogs off, and we'll let our backups get a little playing time. But you keep the dogs rolling, then you can get your ass knocked off. And now you're out of national championship contention because you got some injuries that you weren't expecting on. I'm not saying that I'm advocating for dirty play. I'm saying this is what you get when you try to play that way. I just think that's insane. And if you're doing it for Will Muschamp, come on, man. That's insane. Who the hell do you think you are, Will? That you have to run. And I'm not saying Will does that. I'm not saying Will's advocating for that. That's been the narrative that is thrown out there for a lot of people. And I just think that's insane. I also think South Carolina gets the first touchdown on Georgia all year. That's a pretty hard task to get. They've yet to give up an offensive touchdown. I think they get one this weekend. And like I said, I'm not saying this game is close. 31.5 is just too many damn points. That's insane. Any thoughts on the Charlotte 49ers? Easy pick. Let's see what that number is now. Sorry, I don't have it up in front of me. Georgia State, Charlotte. 4.5 plus Charlotte. I would take those points, and I might play a little sprinkling on the money line. Not that Georgia State's a bad football team. I kind of like this Charlotte team. I think they're better than people give them credit for. Guys, this has been one of my favorite shows of the week. This has been one of the favorite shows that I've done since being at SBR. I love this closing line show. I love spending my Saturday mornings with you guys. I got Casey in here talking about throwing football games, man. This is insane. This is what I need. It's what I love. I appreciate you joining me. Don't forget, be back Monday evening. We'll be premiering on YouTube right here, the opening line show. And then I'll be back Wednesday evening giving you the picks for week number 4. We're going to break this whole thing down again. We're going to do it next week. And then Saturday, right back, same spot with you guys. I appreciate you. I just can't express how much I enjoy doing this, and I like spending my Saturday mornings with you guys. For sportsbookreview.com, my name is Christopher Giannini. Have a good one.